Welcome back to In the Shop, folks. We're going to attempt some wood repairs on some MDF furniture. We had some damage when we were helping my son move this weekend to a couple of pieces of his furniture, and we're going to see if we can't make the repairs. So this is a common thing that happens with MDF. You know, it's just it's cheaply made, but we have the pieces. So I don't know if you can see how it's done here, but basically it is split the material on both ends. But I have both pieces and we still have the insert, so we should be able to reconstitute this with some wood glue and a clamp and put it back together. So we're going to try to make these repairs with just some basic clamps and a little bit of wood glue. We'll clamp this on, this little chip. We just need to make sure that everything fits back together. So you have to be careful with all the fibrous pieces. You want to make sure they go back in firmly, tightly. You may have to do some cleaning or whatever of the parts to make them mate back together in the manner that they need to. What we're using is just some basic wood glue. Won't take much. We're just going to take a paper towel and dab it around with our finger and then use the paper towel to clean the edges off. And then work the piece in until it's just where it needs to be. And we're just going to check that everything is seated properly. I like to take a hammer and just tap it around a little bit, but you don't have to. Make sure that goes in. Now wood glue bonds up pretty quickly. It's not going to be 100% cured for a day, but this repair should hold together pretty well. If you got a little brad nailer or something, you can put a brad in it if you'd like, but it doesn't have to. We're going to flip this over to the other side. I'm going to use a couple of wood blocks just to prop it up, so we can do the same thing with the other side. shave a little bit of this off so it'll sit down flush. I'm just using a pocket knife. Something every man should have. Pocket knife. And you should keep it sharp. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing here. Put a liberal amount of glue in there and just dab it around with your finger. You can use a brush if you want, but it's wood glue. It's not going to hurt you. Get some good clamping pressure on the corner there and wipe off the excess. Grab another clamp, a little bit smaller. It'll grip good. And again, we're going to slide the little insert in, make sure it is in there while the glue is holding. Okay. In an hour or so, this will be set up enough that we can take the clamps off. So we're going to set this piece aside and get to the next piece. Okay, so this piece is a little bit different. Same kind of material. This the little pieces blew out. So we're going to try and get those back in and compressed. All right, so we got the right size Allen head for the insert. We've got a block that we can push down and clamp with. We've got some clamps handy. What we want to do is get the glue into the fibers, so when we clamp all this down and push it in, that we don't booger up the threads inside. What I like to do is take a little wad of a paper towel and put in the threads. Then you can clean it out with you know, a little pick, and then the glue is not getting inside the threads of your insert. But you need to be able to get your tool into the insert too. We want both inserts ready. And the paper towel will absorb some glue if you get too much. But like I said, you can dig it out with a pick usually. So we want to get any of this material down in here out, so it's not causing an issue. Any of the loose material. So we're going to be filling that with glue. We'll hang on to that little bit of material in case we need it, but I don't believe we will. So we're going to get some glue in the hole. Take my pick and get it around into the crevices. And just clean the pick off. What we're going to do is push this in where it needs to be. And the same thing with the next hole, and then we're going to clamp it all down to force it back into where it needs to be. I'm gonna set this block over here. We're gonna strike it with a mallet to kind of push that material down where it needs to go. Make sure these are set in the right location. And what we're gonna do is clamp right onto the end of the table. Make sure there's not a bunch of excess glue. Because if there is, you'll glue your piece right to the other piece. We're going to put a couple pieces of wood together here. This is a steel table, so I don't have to worry too much about how much pressure I put on anything. But we're going to clamp this down, and we'll come back in a couple hours. All right. Just to kind of give you a good view here. I'll lower the camera down where you can see that it is flat at the table. A little trouble here with my camera there, but as you can see, that's flat. Now that's all clamped in, so when we release all this and pull the plywood blocks off, that'll be flat again, and the glue will have impregnated into the pieces that it needs to. So we'll come back in a couple hours and release all this and see what the repairs look like. Okay, so we're back ready to pull these apart. Not perfect, but it's pretty much better than it was. See this other piece? Again, not perfect, but functional again. You want to let them dry up a whole 24 hours before putting them together, but they're ready to go back together now. Now we're going to take the pick and pick out this paper. The paper towel that we stuck in there to keep the glue out of the holes. Just gently work it out. There we go. There's one empty hole. Well, folks, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the show.